Hare Krishna. शेषमुखा व्याख्या चातुर्ये त्वयेकवक्तृतः ददानम् अद्भुतं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्. Shesha, who has many hoods, that is Asesha, glorifies the qualities of the Lord. But that Shesha, who couldn't speak with thousands of hoods, with Chaturyam, Krishna spoke with one mouth. Obeisances unto that wonderful personality, who is the treasure of bliss. So, welcome back all the devotees for today's session. So, we'll continue with our section. So, before we begin, can somebody help me with what are the splits of this chapter, which has been already, I think, posted for all of you? Can you just quickly say the overview? That is the chapter 7, knowledge of the absolute, Jnana Vijnana Yoga. So, yeah, somebody can
First
just...
First two 7 slokas are there, which we'll use for know Krishna in full by hearing about him. And we have completed, I think, 2 slokas. Second part is there 8 to 12, where we discuss about the knowing Krishna as the source of both material and spiritual energy. And 13 to 14 are there 3 modes that are controlled by Krishna. So therefore surrender. And 15 to 19 is there 4 kinds of people who do not surrender, or 4 kinds of people who do surrender. And then 20 to 25, those who surrender to Krishnetara, demigod worshippers and impersonalists who surrender misplaced. And last is 26 to 30, bewilderment of the living entities and knowledge of Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. So, I'm just sharing the screen. Can you allow me, Shantanu Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
I'm still not allowed.
Yeah, just a minute, Prabhu. Now you can, Prabhu.
All are able to see, Prabhus?
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, fine. So yesterday we saw about the started with a verse with Krishna is eagerly telling about the glories about himself, how to know about, how to get that Maya Sakta Manapartha. He started with that first verse. He's saying for that, what to do, that asakti, to have asakti for him. He says that Tat Shrunu, here. So, and then he starts speaking about, and the next verse about, he will tell to Arjuna, he will speak to Arjuna about complete knowledge with Jnana and Vijnana. Prabhupada writes it, Jnana is phenomenal and Vijnana is numinous. And that in turn is, that means all the Aishwarya and the Madhurya, Jnana of the Lord will be explained. And once that is known, Krishna says, nothing else remains to be known. So now begins with the third verse. So this is the first section, as already you pointed out that this we are in the first section, 1 to 7, where know Krishna in full, basically along with all his energies actually. That is understood in full along with his energies by hearing about him. So this is the section we are beginning. We already started, and this is the third verse we are in. Okay. Manushanam sahasreshu kashchit yatati siddhaye yatadamapi siddhanam kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. Okay. That's not read. Yeah. Devi Prasad Prabhu, can you read the translation, Prabhu?
Yes. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved the perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
Yeah. So this verse is saying, Manushanam Sahasreshu. out of thousands, is saying, not one or two or many. So here the Lord is actually speaking about the rarity of realizing Him as Tattvataha. Here we all of us know that Nudehamadyam Sulabham Sudurlabham. This is a verse in Bhagavatam. It says the human body, which can afford all benefits in life very easily when compared to other bodies, is obtained by the laws of nature. But it is very rarely obtained. So one is fortunate to get a human form of life. And another verse also in Bhagavatam says, Durlabho manusho deho dehinam shanavangure tatrapi durlabham manni vaikunta priyadarshanam. The human body is most difficult to achieve, he said. Although dehinam shanavangure, it can be lost at any moment. Still, this human body is having a great value because it can come to the spiritual platform. It can take advantage of spiritual life. That is a glory. So, out of countless jivas in this universe with different bodies, one may get a human form of life. And out of that, we know that out of all humans are not interested towards spiritual life. So, Manusha, so in that kind of, even after getting human form of life, Sahasreshu, out of thousands, it's not telling about thousand, it is about thousands. And thousands, Kashid, some may endeavor for Siddhi. What is the Siddhi? Towards liberation. Like the previous 6 chapters. More or less, the previous 6 chapters, we don't find somebody's, their endeavors. The Nishkam Karma Yogis, Jnana Yogis, Ashtanga Yogis. Endeavor is for liberation. Siddhi. Siddhi. This is not Siddhi. Siddhi is different. Siddhi is the power of the yogis. This is Siddhi. Siddhi means for perfection, getting liberation. Then what Krishna says, Yatadamapi Siddhanam. Let us say, if you take those kind of Siddhas, that is when Jivan Muktas, one was what you call already liberated while living. Even in that, if he says, hardly one, Mam Vetti Tattvata. Hardly one comes to know about me as it is. Tattvata. What is this Tattvata? The Acharyas explain, even Prabhupada explains in his purport, which we are going to read. He says, what is that Tattvata? Tattvata is that Supreme Brahman or that Paramatma, which the others endeavor as perfection, is Krishna only. Is Krishna only, who may be, feeding, who may be sucking the breast of Mother Yashoda, who may be the chariot driver of Arjuna, but he is not an ordinary person. He is the Supreme Lord with inconceivable energies. He is the omnipresent, he is the omniscient. He is only that. So understand that, to accept that is Tattvata. And that Krishna is selling himself is very rare. To realize that is very rare. And you find such kind of rarity, Krishna will say even in the coming section of the 7th chapter. He says that Bahunam Janmanam Ante Gnanavam Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. He said such kind of Mahatma is very Durlabha, who will understand that everything is Vasudeva only. Everything is Vasudeva or his energies. That's all. So so this Tattvata is very rare, Krishna is saying. So this is his sweetness, rarity to realize it. Even in ISKCON, we all may feel that we know Krishna, but the Acharya says that Shakshat Anubhavati means they are realizing Krishna, Sakshat. Practically, it is talking about the Premi Bhakta. We are not at the stage of Premi. So that's why we have to understand what Prabhupada has given us, not a path for liberation in terms of merging into Brahman or even Paramatma aspect. What he has given is directly Krishna to us. Sometimes we cannot, that's why if you go into the depths into the pages of Prabhupada books, pages of what our acharyas have left for us, we understand what is given is very rare, very rare. And for others, after millions of lifetime also, many of them don't even understand. But it has come very easily in our hands, actually. So that's the glory. We have to appreciate what has been provided to us from our sampradaya. Yeah. Now I request Gautam Prabhu, can you read through the highlighted portion? Gautam Prabhu.
Yes, please. The first six
I
chapters
think there
of
is a ring. Okay.
the first six chapters of the Gita are meant for those who are interested in transcendental knowledge, in understanding the self, the super self, and the process of realization by Gnana Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, and discrimination of the self from matter. However, Krishna can be known only by persons who are in Krishna consciousness. Other transcendentalists may achieve impersonal Brahman realization, for this is easier than understanding Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Person, but at the same time, he is beyond the knowledge of Brahman and Paramatma. The yogis and jnanis are confused in their attempts to understand Krishna.
Yeah, because they have their own understanding. Okay, please continue.
Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the cause of all causes, the primeval Lord Govinda. It is very difficult for the
No, read
non
that also. Ishvara
Iswara
Paramatma.
Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. It is very difficult for the non devotees to know him. Although non devotees declare that the path of bhakti or devotional service is very easy, they cannot practice it. If the path of bhakti is so easy as the non devotees class of men proclaim, then why do they take up the difficult path? Actually, the path of bhakti is not easy. The so called path of bhakti, practiced by unauthorized persons without knowledge of bhakti, may be easy, but when it is practiced factually according to the rules and regulations, the speculative scholars and philosophers fall away from the path. Srila Rupa Goswami writes in his Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu
Yeah,
1.2.2.
please read that also. Shruti
Smriti
Smriti.
Smriti Purana de Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harir Bhaktir Upa Utpatayeva Kalpate.
Kalpate.
Devotional service of the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishads, Puranas, and Narada Pancharatra is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society.
Yeah, thank you, Prabhu. So here we are saying that. So Prabhupada is putting very clearly that how Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. If you dwell into the scriptures properly, you will understand. There is Brahman, Paramatma, and the supreme Bhagavan aspect of the Lord. What is so? Usually the non-devotees follows other path. And they see that devotees chanting, devotees dancing, devotees taking prasad. They feel it as क्या है आप लोग नाचते हो गाते हो कूदते हो व्हाट इज दिस ये तो कोई भी कर सकता है दैट्स हाउ द सिंपलिसिटी इज थिंग ये तो भक्ति तो भोले भाले लोगों के लिए है भोले भाले सेंटिमेंटल दैट्स इट्स मेनी ऑफ द टाइम दे क्लेम also it may appear like that but our chanting and dancing is the process actually chanting dancing hearing so it may appear if that is so easy then you tell them why don't they practice no that they will not do there are people who will claim that ये तो कोई भी कर सकता है but when they start doing it they understand it's not that devotees simply what do you call this as a process they do chanting they do this thing but to be frank with if you see if the bhakti manmani bhakti even in our own practices also manmani bhakti can be easy very easy manmani bhakti at one's home at one's what do you call at the voice or yoga wherever is there manmani bhakti is easy because you do whatever you want to do in the name of bhakti that is possible that is easy why because whatever your man says you think that is bhakti and you practice but here it is telling that why Rupa Goswami has been quoted your bhakti has to be supported by the Shruti, Smriti, Purana Adi. So Practicing bhakti with one's own understanding, that may be easy. But if you really see what Prabhupada has laid down as principles and all those things, not so easy. Tough, tough, tough. It's an austerity, but it's an austerity for the ultimate good. That is why it is glorious. So these people keep on challenging in that way. And that's why Prabhupada says that if it is so easy, then why don't they take to the path? But that they will not do. But they will keep on many times criticizing or saying negative of the devotees and thinking that this path is not that as that. They want to feel the superiority of their path, basically. Superiority of their path, that we are, or we know Sanskrit, we learn Upanishads, the original Vedas, the part of the original Vedas. These guys study something currently. Yesterday, one before, I guess Gopal Jumbo was given nice point. He said today's people, if you see the Sanskrit language, which was meant for glorifying the Lord, is been utilized for cricket commentaries and all other kind of stuff. But if you see, by Prabhupada's mercy, he took a Mlacha language. English is a Mlacha language, and even we are now discussing on it, but glorified Krishna. See the beauty. See the beauty. So that was so like that. Aikantiki bhakti. So better to follow bhakti under the guidance of what for all of us it's important what Prabhupada has given us, and later we are practicing under guidance, not independently. Bhakti should never be practiced independently, because bhakti is always practiced in the association of Vaishnavas. Then only it grows. That's why association is most important. Okay. Can I request Vishnu Prabhu?
It is not possible for the Brahman realized impersonalist or the Paramatma realized yogi to understand Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the son of Mother Yashoda or the charioteer of Arjuna. Even the great demigods are sometimes confused about Krishna. Muhyanti yat Surya.
Suraya.
Mam tu Veda na kaschana. No one knows me as I am.
Yes.
The Lord says, and if one does know him, then Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Such a great soul is very rare. Therefore, unless one practices devotional service to the Lord, one cannot know Krishna as he is Tattvata, even though one is a great scholar or philosopher. Only the pure devotees can know something of the inconceivable transcendental qualities in Krishna. His being the cause of all causes, his omnipotence and opulence, and his wealth, fame, strength, beauty, knowledge, and renunciation, because Krishna is benevolently inclined to his devotees.
Yeah. So that's it. That's what Prabhupada says. And last one more is there, where Krishna says that, therefore it is said, Ata Krishna Namadina Bhavet Grahyaminde, Sevan Mukhe Jivado, Swayam Eva Swaratiyada. No one can understand Krishna as he is by the blunt material senses. So our senses are incapable. That's why he's Adokshaja, is beyond the senses, beyond the catch of the senses. But he reveals himself to the devotees, being pleased with them for their transcendental loving service unto him. But Sevan Mukhe Jivado, by our chanting the holy name, seva. We start doing seva by beginning with chanting the holy names, rendering service, engaging our senses. And yes, swayameva. Then, because Lord Himself, we cannot capture the Lord with our practices also. It only swayameva swaratiyada. Though both the holy name and the Lord Himself. So that is Tattvata. Verse text 4. Now, Krishna will be describing about what yesterday we were saying, that the jnana, what is that? His relation, his two energies now he's going to describe in this verse and next verse. There's apara and para, his inferior energy and his superior energy, which are there in this material world. that he's going to describe in the 2 verses. These are famous verses, many of you know also. I mean, you've been reciting time and again. Okay. Bhumirabo nalo vayuhu kammano buddhirevacha ahankara ityam me bhinna prakritirashtadha. Okay. So I request our Darshan Bendre Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu. Translation: Earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Altogether, these 8 constitute my separate material energies.
Yeah, so it's very clear. That is, Bhumi is earth, the earth element here. Then Apaha is water, Anala is fire, Vayu is air, Kham is ether or space, what we call it. These are the gross Mahabhutas. Then Mana is mind, Buddhi is intelligence, and Ahankar is the false ego. And what Krishna is saying, so these are the 5 gross and 3 subtle. Ashtadha, these are 8 Bhinna Prakriti, my 8 separated energies. So what is this separate energy? All of us know that. Prabhupada used to say about what is this 8. So what do you mean by separate energy? Prabhupada used to give simple examples, saying that like milk comes from a cow. So milk is the energy of the cow. But it's not that wherever the milk is there, cow has to be present there. No, milk is separate from the cow. So similarly, one more example, Srila Prabhupada used to say that I speak and then later you play my lecture in this recording, in the tape recorder, and this tape recorder speaks. So available for everyone to hear. But I may not be there, but the tape recorder speaking, that is my separated energy. That's what Prabhupada used to say. And one time, and so Prabhupada would also give an example of how the separated energy, this is the separated energy, can have a different nature from the source from which it is coming. Because, and here many of them get perplexed. How come the source and then later the effect or the separated thing has a different in nature? And quite possible. So that's why one of the, what do you call, young lady, I think she's a reporter. So she was arguing with Prabhupada, saying that, Swamiji, if you find God is good, so how and everything is coming from God. So how can there will be evil in this world? God is good. So automatically everything should be good. But still, why there is evil? So back and forth it was going. Then Prabhupada said, okay, you are beautiful, but why is your stool ugly? Prabhupada asked her a question. So she wouldn't reply. She couldn't reply. Then Prabhupada said, because it's your separated energy. The idea is that which is separated may come from the source, but may not have the qualities of the source. That has to be very clear. That is why this Krishna is saying, this is Bhinna Prakritir Ashtha. That's the word he is using. That means what? This is there will be transformation in that separated energy of the Lord. Don't expect there should be transformation in the Lord. That has to be very clear. Otherwise, people get confused up and mess up with. Now, as I was saying also, all of us know it's not just 8 elements in this material world. There are total, all of us know from Bhagavatam is this material world consists of 24 elements. It has 24 elements from Bhagavatam analysis. But as I said, Krishna will give the knowledge, but he will in principle, in nutshell. You will see in this verse there are 24 elements. And Prabhupada describes in his, what do you call it, purport also. Till now we might always been speaking about 5 and 8, but no, Bhagavatam tells more. And Krishna also what is intended in that is, see, Bhumi, hear this carefully. Bhumi earth, water, fire, air, ether. These are Pancha Mahabhutas. That is the 5 gross elements. But in the creation, when they come from their subtle elements that are called as Tanmatras. Tanmatras. What is that? Is they come from smell, and there is taste, and there is form, there is touch, there is sound. These are 5, or you call these are 5 sense objects. So when he's saying that Bhumi Aponola Vayu come, that 5 are included in that. So how much it comes to? 10. It's clear. Now, Mano, Buddhir, Ahankar. This is how many, sir? 3. It comes to 23. Sorry, it comes to 13. 10 plus 3, 13. Now we are going. Now, in the creation, false ego, under it, already, in the creation, when you see the sequence of creation, false ego, under that, the working and the knowledge acquiring senses are included. The 10 senses are included in the Ahankar. So what are the 5 knowledge acquiring senses? All of us know that. Ears, nose, eyes, and tongue, and skin, all this. And then there are working senses. Working senses, hands, legs, genitals, anus, and our voice, the speech. So 10. So now 10, if you add, how many it comes to? 23. Right? Everybody is getting it? Okay. Now what is the 24th element? So that Mahat Tattva is the 24th element, which is presiding and under it. So if you see creation, there is Mahat Tattva. Below that, false ego comes. Under false ego, 10 senses and all those comes. And under that again, there is Pancha Mahabhutas along with their sense objects. So like that, it is 24. And those who are atheistic Sankhya, they just deal with this 24 element. There is no soul in this. There is no soul, super soul in this. So that is why one who deals only with this 24 elements, aspects, it was called as atheistic Sankhya. Properly, they show in this purport. But then what is theistic Sankhya? That is Kapila's Sankhya, which is there in Bhagavatam. It has 2 more. 25th element is Atma, 26th is Paramatma. So that's why our Sankhya includes not 24, 26 completely. So that is the description of it. Now, so this is in short. Sometimes I'm just giving it. So this is another analysis which I'll not go into. Sometimes that what you call buddhi is equated with, and means buddhi is put into Mahat Tattva, and then one element is less. So then Pradhan is added. Same kind of analysis will be done in the 13th chapter, because this is Gyan, na? Again, it will come in Gyan Yoga section, because this is knowledge of the Lord, his Aishwarya aspect. So that will come again in the 30th chapter, same verses. There you will find that analysis has Pradhan and what do you call Mahat Tattva. Then all other aspects are there. So at least, can anybody just say how in this eight elements there are 24 elements embedded in it, which I explained, so that I can be sure that somebody would like to volunteer.
Yes,
who's that?
Anil.
Okay, Anil. Yes.
In the starting 5 elements, Puji, it is told that Bhumir Apo Jalana, Bhumir Apa Jana. So first is smell, second is coming from
No.
taste.
Just tell me quickly how the okay.
Yeah. Earth, fire, ether, earth, fire, water, air, ether, and smell, taste, form, touch, and then mind, intelligence, false ego, Mahat Tattva, Pradhan,
Okay.
legs, sound, like speech.
You tell in a very sequence so that everybody can catch it. Where is what embedded? Okay, somebody else. Devi Prasad.
Yes.
Yes, bro. Please explain it precisely. Huh? Okay.
So from this Panchabhuta 5 gross element, so the subtle 5 tanmatras came.
No, it is reverse. In the creation, it is reverse. From subtle,
So
actually gross comes.
actually gross came. So in that way, that 5 will be added here.
Okay, good. So in the Bhumi, Apan, Olo, Vayu come, the 5 gross are there. So subtle is there in that. So that's why how many have come now? 10.
Now 10. So then in Ahankara first ego.
After that, then 3.
Then come Mano Buddhi, means, sorry, Mano Buddhi Ahankar. These are 3.
Total
so
how
10
much?
plus 3,
Total
13.
how much? Yes, come like that.
13.
Okay. Next.
Okay, then in Ahankara, it is already 10, 5 knowledge acquiring senses and 5 working senses.
Done. You don't have to explain. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect. Next. So 20, how much is the count now?
23. And Mahatattva is presiding all. No,
that is 24. So, and one who deals only with this 24 elements is what?
That is atheistic Sankhya philosophy.
And one who deals, what is the theistic
soul and
super soul?
We have added soul and super soul.
Exactly. Okay, fine. This is understood. Good. Okay. Now, okay, Shantanu Prabhu, can you read?
Yes, Guruji. The science of God analyzes the constitutional position of God and his diverse energies. Material nature is called Prakriti, or the energy of the Lord in his different Purusha incarnations, expansions, as described in the Tattvata Tantra. Vishnostu trini rupani purusakhyani atho viduhu ekam tu mahata shastra द्वितीयं त्वण्ड संस्थितं द्वितीयं सर्वभूतस्थं तानि ज्ञात्वा विमुच्यते.
Okay.
For material creation, Lord Krishna's plenary expansion assumes 3 Vishnus. The first one, Mahavishnu, creates the total material energy known as the Mahat Tattva. The second, Garbhodakshay Vishnu, enters into all the universes to create diversities in each of them. The third, Tirodakshay Vishnu, is diffused as the all-pervading supersoul in all the universes and is known as Paramatma. He is present even within the atoms. Anyone who knows these 3 Vishnus can be liberated from material entanglement.
Knowing it is not that just knowing this verse. Knowing is after that one has to understand. One understands how he's entangled in this world and all those things, and then takes to the process and practices. Sometimes we take a simplistic understanding of things, saying that, okay, Prabhu, I know about it now, but where am I liberated? Such kind of don't, as you go deeper into the scriptures, keep your mind more open, broaden for accepting new terms, accepting new understandings. Keep it broad. Don't. I've seen or usually voice devotees they have frozen themselves with the words. Liberation means immediately everybody impersonal liberation. Liberation is a stretchable word. It goes from yes impersonal liberation to back home, back to Godhead, going into Golo. So we have to see the context. Even if it is if 10th canto is liberated word is used, all the, let us say, all the Vrajavasis achieved liberation. You have to take that understanding very clearly that it is talking about they achieved Golok back after performing their pastimes here. So don't froze your what do you call thoughts upon this thing. Be open when you are. Well, that's what I'm just saying. Yesterday also I was just pointing out. So then what happens? Okay, you understand. Your understanding grows, and that grows up. So that is my good. So here we have clearly this. Everybody knows that. So the Paramatma aspect of the Lord of the 3 Vishnus. Okay, please continue to read this, Prabhu.
Therefore, from the 8 separated energies of the Lord are manifest the 24 elements of the material world, which are the subject matter of Sankhya atheistic philosophy. They are originally offshoots from Krishna's energies and are separated from him. But atheistic Sankhya philosophers with a poor fund of knowledge do not know that Krishna is the cause of all causes. The subject matter for discussion in the Sankhya philosophy is the only manifestation of the external energy of Krishna as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yeah, and this is what you call is called as what you call separated energy. And now immediately when next verse comes, that will talk about this is talking about the inferior energy. Now it will talk about the superior energy immediately. Text 5. Aparayamitastu anyam prakritam viddhi me param Jivabhutam Mahabhavo Yayedham Dharyate Jagat. Okay. Avinash Prabhu. Are you there?
Yeah.
Please read the translation.
Besides this, O mighty Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises the living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature.
Yeah. So here, aparayam, aparayam. This apara. What is this apara? Can anybody say what is this? This apara is saying that the verse is speaking. What is this pointing out to?
I think material nature.
Material nature?
These separated different energies. Okay.
Okay, where was it given?
The
Previous
previous
person.
Ha. Where was it given? Anybody knows? Apara, inferior. This inferior. He's referring to what? This inferior. What is that inferior?
Previous verse.
Previous verse.
Previous
Very good.
verse.
Somebody who have got. See, apara, I told, if you heard carefully, apara, and now Krishna will tell about the para. So he's telling this inferior, besides this, itastu anyam, there is another prakriti. Again, the words prakriti is used for material nature also. Prakriti is used for the living entity also. So here, another prakriti is there. But what is that? He is param. Means when compared to the previous inferior prakriti, this prakriti is param. Is superior. It's not superior to the Lord. It is superior in comparison to the previous apara. That has to be clear. So what is that? That is nothing but the Jiva Shakti, which is been referring to. The previous was referring to the Maya Shakti. It's as simple as that. So Jiva Bhutam Mahabhavo. So he's telling to Arjuna, oh Mahabhavo, please, that is the Jiva, which is comprising of the living entities, and Dharyate, and they are the one who are enjoying this material world or utilizing the resources of for their enjoyment. So that's what is in simple. So here it is telling about the superior energy of mind. That means what Krishna is claiming, previous Maya Shakti is mine, and this living entity is mine. So he's making it very clear. Okay, may I request Aman Prabhu, can you read Prabhu? Aman Kumar Prabhu.
Yes, Purport. Here it is clearly mentioned that living entities belong to the superior nature or energy of the Supreme Lord. The inferior energy is matter manifested in different elements, namely earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. Both forms of material nature, namely gross, earth, etc., and subtle, mind, etc., are products of the inferior energy. The living entities who are exploiting these inferior energies for different purposes are the superior energy of the Supreme Lord. And it is due to this energy that the entire material world functions. The cosmic manifestation has no power to act unless it is moved by the superior energy, the living entity. Energies are always controlled by the energetic, and therefore, the living entities are always controlled by the Lord. They have no independent existence.
No independent explanation. Please read this also.
The Supreme Lord Krishna is the only controller, and all living entities are controlled by him. These living entities are his superior energy because the quality of their existence is one and the same with the Supreme. But they are never equal to the Lord in quantity of power. While exploiting the gross, while exploiting the gross and subtle inferior energy matter, the superior energy, the living entity, forgets his real spiritual mind and intelligence. This forgetfulness is due to the influence of matter upon the living entity. But when the living entity becomes free from the influence of the illusory material energy, he attains the stage called mukti or liberation.
Yeah. Okay. Please continue the last one.
Therefore, one may conclude that the Gita confirms the living entity to be only one of the multi-energies of Krishna. And when this energy is freed from material contamination, it becomes fully Krishna conscious or liberated.
Yeah. So this is talking about the living. Now, question comes, can anybody tell very quickly to me why this energy is superior to the previous energy?
Because it is conscious.
Exactly. Who said that?
My Deepak.
Deepak. Okay, very good. And then, then what is the difficulty with the previous energy?
That was unconscious.
Very good. It is unconscious. It is achit, and this is chit. It has consciousness. Chetana. It doesn't have chetana. That's how. From that point of view, it is superior. Like that. Okay. Now he will combine both and tell about that both of them are coming from me. Okay. Etad yonini bhutani sarvaniti upadharaya aham kritsnasya jagatah prabhavah pralayasatha. Okay. Yes, Prabhu. Chandra Bhushan Tiwari ji.
Yes, Guruji. All created beings have their source in these two natures of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the dissolution.
Yes, it's very clear. So he is saying that Sarva Bhutani means what? All that what you see in this material existence. What is there in this material existence? Two energies of the Lord are there and everything. What is that? The Maya Shakti is there as the manifestation of everything in this material world. And then the other, that is Jiva Shakti, is there. So the whole thing, the combination of both is the existence, which we are seeing all around. And then, but Krishna is saying that, what is he saying? He's claiming that of all that is material and all that is spiritual, know for certain I am the origin of it. He says that he uses this word prabhavaha, from me, aham krishnasya jagata. So this jagata, ultimate cause, or ultimately it's coming from me. So he has, from him it comes, and it pralaya, in him it gets destroyed too. So that's how he explains. So he claims, he just said about the inferior energy, and now he's previously, then later he said about the superior energy, and now he's saying that both of them, everything is coming. I am the origin of the dissolution. Yeah. So this is understood. So Karthik Mahapatra, can you read once?
Perfect. Everything that exists is a product of matter and spirit. Spirit is the basic field of creation, and matter is created by spirit. Spirit is not created at a certain stage of material development. Rather, this material world is manifested only on the basis of spiritual energy.
Yeah. Later, initially the Lord is creating and giving the facility, and then later the spirit souls, they are exploiting it or they're utilizing it accordingly. Fine. So this comes. Now, 7th verse in this first section. Now Krishna says, so what? Okay, you spoke about creation, everything is coming from me. So all these things are coming from you, they get dissolved in you. But what about maintenance? So there's this he talks about how he maintains. Another beautiful verse. Mattah parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mahi sarvamidam proktam sutre maniganaiva. Okay. Akshay Prabhu. Akshay Khatare.
There is a common controversy over translation.
Translation.
O conqueror of wealth, there is no truth superior to me. Everything rests upon me as pearls are strung on a thread.
Okay, because previously Lord spoke about, okay, I am the Prabhava, I am the Pralaya. Then what about it get maintained also, no? Okay, there's a my sarvamidam proktam. Whatever you see that is created by my material energy, then sutre maniganiva, but it is sustaining because of me. Because already we saw that the material energy cannot sustain by itself. Cannot withstand by itself. Here the Lord is saying, I am there. Like we see, though he gives a beautiful example, Sutre Mani Ganaiva. Just like we find our own Kanti malas. It has Kanti, it has what do you call? We don't see the thread below it. But we are seeing countries nicely being put. But all of us know very clearly there is a thread below it. Although it is not visible, but it is there. It is there. It is there. And then everything, every single tulsi bead is been nicely put there. Similarly, this material existence cannot stand our bricks, our building, our table, our chair, anything, even the material energy with withstanding, because the Lord is present as a super soul in between the atoms. Otherwise, even matter cannot withstand by itself until unless the energy of the Lord or the Lord himself is present as Paramatma aspect. That's amazing. When I heard this first, I was shocked. That means anything that you find here, even for the material energy, even after its manifestation in Bhagavatam also it comes, the Lord has to personally enter in order to withstand it. Otherwise, nothing even stands. Your cement cannot withstand until unless the Lord is there in that. So that's how the Lord is saying. That means he is not visible, but he's there. Is there. That's what he's saying. I am even sustaining everything that you find here. And then he's standing right in front of Arjuna. He's saying Dhananjaya, Matta Param. And he's saying that there is nothing superior to me beyond this. That means he has a personality, is very clearly telling that. And so for down, he's saying, I am pervaded in this material existence, basically. That's what he's telling. For and there is nothing to be known or nothing superior to me. That's why Prabhupada in his purport, you will find he blows the impersonal. This is one of the verses where it clear cut blows the impersonalist if you ask them, saying that, okay, now nobody else is there, only Krishna is there, Arjuna is there, and Arjuna is clearly sending there is nothing, matta parataram na anyat. He clearly is saying that is beyond me, there is nothing, and I'm only is pervading this universe, sustaining everything, just like Paul's strong with that. Then what else remains to be said? So that's how. So that's how sustenance. And so this will end at the seventh verse. We'll just see Prabhupada's purport and then continue. Yes. Arjun Sarthi, Prabhu, can I request you, please?
There is a common controversy over whether the Supreme Absolute...
Oh, I'm sorry. I got clicked.
Yeah, there is a common controversy over whether the Supreme Absolute Truth is personal or impersonal. As far as Bhagavad Gita is concerned, the Absolute Truth is the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and this is confirmed in every step. In this verse, in particular, it is stressed that the Absolute Truth is a person, that the personality of Godhead is the Supreme Absolute Truth, is also the affirmation of the Brahma Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha, that is, the Supreme Absolute Truth, personality of Godhead, is Lord Krishna, who is the primeval Lord, the reservoir of all pleasure, Govinda, and the eternal form of complete bliss and knowledge. These authorities leave no doubt that the Absolute Truth is the Supreme Person, the cause of all causes.
Like, because here these authorities is who? Brahma, because he's the one who's in Brahma Samhita. So these authorities, great authorities are saying that he's a personality. So, but still, so now down, if you see this Prabhupada goes on saying that how the impersonalists argue on the basis of the Upanishads, and again on the basis of Upanishads only. Prabhupada says that there are other verses in the Upanishads that defeats their arguments also. Like that, Prabhupada, that's how this section has been telling about it. So now, so this ends our first section with respect to know Krishna, about his know about him in full. Okay, then in short, everything has been told about it, because what is told, what do you call, his jnana and vijnana aspect has been given, that he is the source of both material and the spiritual energies. The spiritual energy here, I mean to say, is the Jiva Shakti and the Maya Shakti. So he has been very clear. And everything, everything is coming from him, everything is annihilating in him, and at the same time, he's a sustainer of that thing. Now, now the next section from 8 to 12 the section, Krishna will tell how he pervades in everything. So he's continuing the previous section of when he said Matta Parataram Na Anyat Kinchidasya Dhananjaya. Now he is giving examples, the items, how he is pervading in the news, that everywhere he is there. So next 4 verses will continuously read, they are in one theme. So in the 8th verse, he will tell 4 items. In the 9th verse, he will tell 4 items, how he's pervading. And in the 10th verse, he will tell 3 items. In the 11th verse, he will tell 2 items. And then at the 12th, he will sum up everything. So like that, he will go. And this is only small. You will find this how he pervades everything. He will go in detail and what you call opulences of the absolute in 10th and 11th chapter. When he goes, he will go in detail. But here in short, he's quickly giving, because he said Sutre Mani Ganiva. So he quickly says about that. So even we have to correct it tomorrow. Just remember that even in the overview, actually 8 to 12 is when I was also going through. In your handbook, it is given like that Krishna is a source of both material and spiritual energies, which is already there actually in the verse 7 and previous verses. So we don't have to go again in the 6th, 7th, 5th, 6th, and 7th verses. This tells about it. So 8 to 12, actually, if you see how Krishna pervades, that is the section. So we may have to change it. Tomorrow I'll change it and maybe I'll resend it. So quickly we'll recite these verses, their translation.
Can we ask questions here, or do you want us?
I'll just complete this section.
Yes.
I'll give time for question answers. Okay. रसोमाप्सु कौन्तेय प्रभास्मि शशिसूर्योः प्रणव सर्ववेदेषु शब्दके पौरुषं नुषु. Okay. Somebody read. Okay. Sumukha Vishnu Das. Sumukha Vishnu Prabhu. Prabhu, you should unmute yourself.
O son of Kunti, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether and ability in man.
Next.
Perfect.
Punyogandha prithvim cha tejaschasmi vibhavasu jivanam sarvabhuteshu tapaschasmi tapasvishu. Yes. Shantanu Prabhu, can you quickly read? You continue to read till the time I chant the verses.
Translation. I am the original fragrance of the earth, and I am the heat in fire. I am the life of all that lives, and I am the penance of all aesthetic.
Yes. Okay. Bijam mam sarvabhutanam viddhi partha sanatanam buddhir buddhimatam asmi tejas tejas vinamaham.
O son of Pritha, know that I am the original seed of all existences, intelligence of the intelligent, and the prowess of all powerful men.
Balam balavatam chaham kamaraga vivarjitam dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bhartarshava.
I am the strength of the strong, devoid of passion and desire. I am the sex life which is not contrary to religious principles, O Lord of Bharatas, Arjun.
Yeah. So that's how this section 8 to. So here it says, Rasoham apsu kauntaya prabhasmi shashisuryo pranava sarva vedeshu shabdake porushamashu. It's very clear. So I'm the taste of water. He says that all of us know that the water element come first, the subtle element, as I was saying, tanmatra in creation. First taste comes and then water comes. So like that. So that means what Krishna is saying, that is it. Today we have this explanation of some ocean water is salty and there is heavy water, there is what you call light water, tasteless water, or as per science, if you find that water is a tasteless liquid and all those things. This is the understanding. So either the water is mixed with certain kind of minerals and all those, that's how it gets its state. More salt, that's how it gets its state. But what Krishna is telling here, as per the scriptures, in water has the element to give the taste for it, and that taste Krishna is saying myself. Example: if you remove in anything, just you completely remove the water, you will not taste it. Or you still say, oh, we taste it because when we put in tongue there is saliva which has the water element. You remove in the tongue, the people don't take. If you have a very dry tongue, you cannot even taste. So there should be water element in our tongue, in the saliva, at the same time there is water, there is some amount of moisture at least, or the water element has to be in the item in order to get taste of it. That's why Krishna says, I am the taste of water. That has to be very clear. So he said, then light, moon and light, light and he's the light of the sun and moon. So we all of us know that they are more. Sun has light and accompanied by heat. Moon has light accompanied by cooling effect. That is there. And then he says that I am the several Om in the Vedic mantras. Yeah, for many of us, Om in Vedic mantras or anything auspicious, this chanting Om has been used. It has been used even in our Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Our books start with many auspiciousness. Om is the word. Atha or Om is used, but prominently Om is being used. And Om is a sound representation of Krishna. But for devotees, sometimes that again, frozen idea of Om means it's for the impersonalists. No, for a devotee, Om means A represents, this is in Padma Puran, it tells about Akarena Vishnu, then Ukarena Shri Ruchyate, then Makarena Anyastu Dasayos, as we say. Means Akara is the Lord, either Vishnu or Krishna, and Ukara is Lakshmi or Radharani, and Makara is his servants, Dasos, or the living entities. So that's how this is. For a devotee, even if he chants Om, for him it's very clear. It is Lord and his energies. But for others, impersonalists, they may take it Om as an impersonal aspect of it. However, then again, why don't we continue to chant Om mantra? Somebody chanting is okay, but if you see, even in the words, even in the reciting, why we chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, why we chant the Lord's name? Because that is much more personal. There is Gaudanam, there is Mukhyanam. Mukhyanam means what? Primary name and secondary name. So primary name is like Krishna's personal aspect. He is Govinda, he is Yashodanandan, he is Rajendra Nandan. All these aspects of it are personally, and that's how the Lord loves. That's the Lord, his connection, and at the same time, personally calling. And Om is an impersonal aspect in that sense, the sound vibration. But a devotee understands very clearly. That's why we should not have. Sometimes Radha Krishna is there, but Om symbol is there. Then immediately we say, oh, this. No. So devotee understands it very clearly. It's like just like PM. PM is a general, but Narendra Modi is a personalized aspect. That's the difference. And again, I am the sound in the ether. Again, as taste in water, sound in ether. That's it. And I'm the ability in man. Ability. Now, ability is even the ability for, there are different kind of abilities. All of us know that. What do you call it? That's Purusham Nrishu, it says. What does it refer to? Multi-level. One is our ability, like excellent speaker, excellent leadership, people have wonderful qualities and all that. That ability is coming from Krishna. And then there is, so even the outside world, so that abilities people are showing, the qualities people are showing, that has been coming from the Lord. The capacity to do. But what to speak of? There are abilities like to control one's senses and what do you call it? Control one's urges and utilize, perform austerities and utilized for in one's spiritual advancement. What to speak of? That is definitely the Lord. In our capacity to practice spiritual life, we find the ability to practice spiritual life. We all of us know that the sense control is most important. The ability to control those senses is given by the Lord. So, which opens up our doors to self-realization. So, materially, yes, it is there, but spiritually, it's much more. What to speak of Paurushan Rishu in spiritual advancement. So that's how this first four. I just request Abhishek Z. Abhishek Z. Prabhu, can you just read this?
Yes. This verse explains how the Lord is all pervasive by his diverse material and spiritual energies. The Supreme Lord can be preliminarily pursued by his different energies, and in this way he is realized impersonally. As the demigod in the sun, as the demigod in the sun is a person and is pursued by his all-pervading energy, the sunshine, so the Lord, although in his eternal abode, is pursued by his all-pervading diffusive energies. The taste of water is the active principle of water. No one likes to drink sea water because the pure taste of water is mixed with the salt. Attraction for water depends on the purity of the taste, and this pure taste is one of the energies of the Lord. The impersonalist pursues the presence of the Lord in water by its taste, and the personalist also glorifies the Lord for his kindly supplying tasty water to quench man's thirst. That is the way of perceiving the Supreme.
See? So, first of all, the very clear. The Supreme Lord can be preliminarily pursued by his energies, and in this way he is realized impersonally. So these are actually analyzing the Lord through the through his perversion in this material existence. And down also Prabhupada writes, the impersonalists pursue the presence of the Lord. Oh, he is a taste, that means it. But the personalists glorify the Lord for his supplying taste to quench the thirst. So one should not think that, okay, Prabhu, then tomorrow onwards, shall we put the water as our deity for worship? Remove Radha Krishna and put. See, that is not the understanding. This is for that's why Prabhupada is saying it is preliminary understand. But one who knows very nicely who's Krishna, we worship the deity. So this is mainly for, and this is knowledge, no? This is only for, and this is for understanding, and this is not the process of meditation for devotees. Yes, but if it, the point is, all this section till 4 verses which are going to get, the point is a devotee can be Krishna consciousness by relating all the things, all the energies of the, oh, how wonderful Krishna is being manifest. Oh, sun and moon are the eyes of Krishna, like that. So a devotee reminds himself of Krishna. That is okay, but that does not mean that he replaces them as a, like in Prahlad Maharaj, the pillar from which the Lord Narsimha came. It's a glorious pillar as an item, as a paraphernalia of the Lord. Not that we start seeing pillar as a deity and removing Narsimha there. So that has to be clear. So this section, what we are hearing is how Lord is pervading and how it makes one remind of Krishna. So that should not replace our worshipable items. That's what it is. So similar things will proceed with further verses that will try to see tomorrow. So that will go a little fast. Okay, I shall stop here. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Okay, Prabhu. Any questions? Yeah, Parsati Prabhu or Arjun Sarthi.
Yes, ma'am. Here, many times we say like Lord is because these are his separated energy. He is not personally present in them.
Yeah.
And we also say that he's like Sutri Managanaiva because he says a like underlying thread.
Yeah.
And there's also another understanding where we say that nothing is actually material for the Lord. For we as a marginal energy, we see something as a spiritual and we see something as a material. But for Lord, actually, because everything is for his own energies, everything is actually spiritual for him. There is nothing material or spiritual for them. So can you show some light on this understanding? How do we understand? Does Lord actually present in the material objects which are separated from him, or he appears? See, appearing from a pillar, he can appear from everywhere. Like the sun is appearing from the horizon.
He's already there in the pillar.
Yeah. Or is he already there in the pillar? Yeah. So that concept, if you could put some light.
Yeah. Good question, bro. This is generally because sort of confusion for many. See, Lord has multiple energies. It's not, he has unlimited Shaktis. Parasa Shaktir Vividaiva Shurya. It's not that way. But if you bring in the primarily in a broad category, he has 3 energies. One is the Chit, another is Achit, and the Jiva Shakti in broad. So under them there will be multiple. Now Chit Shakti is his spiritual energy. You see, Lord is there, he's a person, and he has, you can imagine, Lord is a person, he has this many Shaktis in his hand. So one Shakti is his own Chit Shakti, which he himself very much is like the spiritual world, everything is, that is his Chit Shakti, right? Another Shakti is this Maya Shakti, is the material energy. Another Shakti, which is the Tatastha Shakti, which we call it, the Jiva, which is in between, we call it, in between in a sense, he is currently in that, but that is separate energy. Jiva is a separate Shakti of the Lord. That has to be very clear. Now, when you are talking about Jiva Shakti, he himself exists as an Maya exists. Maya has Adhishtan and Adhishtatri. Adhishtatri is the personality, Maya Devi. Adhishtan is that substance or pradhan, which nothing but made up of three modes. That's why we say Devi has three modes. Okay. So now when we say Lord is present in his energy there, in order to sustain that energy, you see, Maya Devi, she cannot, nothing she can do. That's why the Lord has to activate her, create her. Create, and she's already there. You see, Pradhan is always existing. That energy is as she's existing. But her existence to come out as universe, to form and all those things, Lord has to enter as his avatar, that is Purusha avatars, in order to sustain. So don't think that ki, matter to kuch hai nahi hai, everything, because no. There is something called matter. But in order to bind that everything, the Lord is present as that. So that is the glory of the Lord. In one sense, we can say, if I ask you a question in one sense, how many super souls are there? Not with respect to Mahavishnu is very clear, one. And Garbhodaksha is as many universes. But if I ask how many, Shirodaksha Vishnu super souls are, one answer is yes. As many living entities they have forms with the body, primary. Then what about the super soul, which is binding each and every molecule atom? So in that, if you see, you can imagine the, why Prabhu? Because this is a particular kind of energy which is unconscious. Whereas that is not the case with the energy of the Lord, which is Chit, which is completely conscious, which is spiritual. That's why we say the spiritual world is completely conscious. Everything is conscious there. You have heard that water is conscious. There we don't call that as Jad at all, because everything is conscious. Whereas in the material world, we call everything is Jad. And the Lord has to come to sustain it. And then the Jiva, who is accordingly, he has been put into that as a punishment, or as a, his becoming purified to come out of it. That is there. And the Lord has to come in order to reclaim him. So that is there. Getting the point, bro? Is this clear? That's what is the understanding. Many of them confused, thinking that matter is Lord only. Oh, Lord is not matter. He's there in between. There is something called matter, but it cannot withstand by you. So that is the glory of the Lord. So that's how this Jnana, when Krishna is saying, if you understand this Ashtadha, oh, that means there's nothing. But it has been, again, it looks very active. That is because of the Lord's presence.
Yeah, so can we say then that the Lord is actually present in every item because he is a binding force for them?
Yeah, he's there. He's there. So, but we don't start worshipping table, worshipping. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Then if you want to analyze, then you will start analyzing. You can analyze in a very degraded way also, thinking, okay, he's there also, he's here also here. But there is a procedure how to worship him also, right? Like we know that we say that the king is, as Modi is there. It is Modi's government when we say. But I'm just giving an analogy. Analogy may not fit completely, but you have a personality whom we deal with as Modi, right? Whom we see as Prime Minister of the country, right? Like that. So that's why when I say he's pervading, but that does not mean that you start worshipping the water, you start worshipping this. That is a preliminary understanding, Prabhupada says. And for devotees, how does it? That's why he gave a very clear contrast there. What did he give? For impersonalists, oh, is the taste of water. And his understanding of that will be not even Krishna. His understanding maybe his Brahman also. He's our Brahman, who's even weird understanding sometimes. But for the devotees, it's very clear. It's our Lord who's helping us by providing all these facilities for quenching us and helping us to grow and advance in our Krishna consciousness. So this is what is there. Is that okay, Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Any other? Okay. So we shall stop here. Shantanu Prabhu, is it okay? Or I don't know whether sorry, some chart I saw. Just like in the first verse of this chapter, you told that order of words 1, 2, 3. Could you please continue tell whenever possible in verses? In our school, we would do the same. Prabhu, I think who has sent this? Avinash Prabhu. I didn't understand that, Prabhu. I'm sorry. Just like in the first verse of this chapter. Okay.
Just like in the first verse, you told the order of the words like 1, 2, 3, 4. Like Shrunu comes first, you told. Asamsayam second. Yogam third. Fourth Yunjanam.
No.
Maya
You see, it goes on the understanding of the verse. If every verse may not flow like that. It's whichever verse is flowing according to the understanding. Ultimately, our goal is to understand the verse nicely. Whether it is top, bottom, side, bottom, or it is split, whatever may be, the understanding should be clear of the verses. And yes, one-to-one meanings are already given by Prabhupada for us to make sense for it. That we can do individually and try to see from the verses. I'm sure, because when I'm speaking this, if you start covering each and every this thing, the course will not be what do you call? For me, the allotted time is certain number of months, so I'll not be able to complete in that. It will go years, and your course has to be also completed. So yes, whatever the verse says, that meaning has to be very clear to all of us, and where is the flow coming, and what is the understanding going on. That has to be very clear. Is that okay?
Okay.
Next, Deepak Sutharpu Hare Krishna. Is it said that the Jiva energy is superior of the Lord? It is also mentioned that matter has power to influence the Jiva. Can you please explain a little more? Yeah, because that all of us know that Samohitam Jiva, because the living entity misidentifies with the material energy. And yes, and Maya has been empowered. See, Maya Devi is there, no? She is empowered, no? How to purify the living entity. So she can utilize matter. And but as the living entity become purifies, then slowly she loses. That you will see in the verse number, it is going to come. Devi Esha Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratyaya. He talks about her, how she is Duratyaya. But there is one way that you can get out of her. So that's why I told her superiority from the Chetana point of view. But if he misidentifies, she overpowers. But if he identifies as Krishnadas and understand, he can become free of 3 modes. That's going to come. Is this clear? And in more if you want, go into Srimad Bhagavatam. I think it's chapter number 4, where Vyasdev having his vision. How he saw the Lord, how he saw the Maya, and how Maya is capturing the living entities, but how the living entities can be freed. And what is the reason the living entity has been captured? He clearly says in the next verse, because he himself misidentifies with the material world. As that's why he feels himself as controller. So that's why this material world is actually to humble us. Time to time humble us, punch us, to know that I'm not. That's why Krishna is telling all this jnana is understand. All these verses which are going to understand is actually to understand Krishna is the controller. Is it clear to whoever is asked?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. So we shall stop here and continue tomorrow. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji.